It's like now I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Yeah, let's just have it happen.
I was like, dude, fucking do
Let's hack it this
something.
point. Yeah.
I'm waiting. You know, they keep talking about an attack on the 4th of July.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Is that what they're talking about? I literally don't know anything.
Apparently, Iran is talking about a possible attack on the 4th of July.
That's not good. We're in the city of liberty, brother.
Yeah, dude. I don't think they're. So the whole thing is, I don't think they'd ever attack Philadelphia.
No.
I don't think they'd give two shits about it. When people are like, "Hey, could attack," I don't think they know what Independence Hall is.
No, I don't think so.
They know
either.
what the White House.
They know the
is,
White House.
And they know New York.
And they know New York. Yeah.
Everything else.
Vegas.
Vegas.
They know
a
Vegas.
sick place.
Yeah.
I don't know why they've never. I don't know why no one's ever attacked Vegas.
It's all the sand. I feel like
You'd think that'd be right at home. You think, honestly, I gotta be honest with
we
you.
got this, guys.
The oppressive heat, the sand. I think
That's why they don't attack it. They're
perfect
like they got a little slice of heaven over
they're
there.
like, we gotta save
We
this
don't. We gotta save this for when we get there.
that is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like let's save it. Waste everything.
But
Don't ruin the Luxor.
hang on to the desert.
I like these.
Look at that Sphinx.
I mean, they have all the monuments.
They sure
have
do.
all the money.
They
They
have
got the
every
Eiffel
monument you
Tower.
could
They got
need.
the Sphinx. They got the fucking Great Pyramid.
Uh-huh.
They've got everything there. I guess, yeah, you wouldn't. If you were a terrorist from the Middle East, you wouldn't destroy Vegas because you get the best of both worlds.
Best bang for your buck.
You get everything.
Best of both. Try
get
best of all worlds.
everything.
You get all the worlds
All the
there.
worlds. That's true. There is the Taj Mahal.
Taj
there.
Mahal's there.
Man, you
Sure.
really don't have to like go far
Huh.
to see everything. That's true. Good
And then
on
you
them.
got Reno.
Yeah, you do. You do have the biggest little city in the world.
You got, yeah.
Sure. If you like, I'm getting tired of the hustle and
hubbub.
bustle
Yeah,
of Vegas. I'll go to a weird turd that is just like that. I've never been to Reno. You've been to
No,
Reno?
never have. Loved the show.
Damn
though.
it. Yeah, who didn't love Reno? No,
I don't know anything, man.
It was like one of those things that I didn't even know Reno existed until that
show came
Until the
out.
show.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true because I did. When I was a kid, I loved the movie Kingpin.
Okay.
And Reno,
they
Nevada
go-
is
yeah,
where the
the bowling Hall of Fame or whatever the fuck.
bowling championship is.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that Reno was just like inside of Las Vegas, like it was a Vatican
Like a Vatican City, yeah, okay.
within Las
Yeah.
Vegas. And, for the longest time, I thought that, and someone was like, "No, it's its own separate thing."
Believe it or not, they let them have their
they
own
had their
town.
own thing.
Yeah.
which I kind of like.
love
I can
Kingpin.
I can appreciate that,
Sure.
but I also want. There's nothing like that in Pennsylvania. There's no like you don't have like you have Philadelphia, but then there's no like big fun city anything to do
Hershey.
outside. Yeah, it does Hershey count?
Yeah.
Is Hershey
I'm
the
really,
Reno?
I'm reaching.
Is
I don't
Hershey
know.
the Reno of Pennsylvania?
I don't know, man. Pittsburgh is what people would say.
Have you been to Pittsburgh?
Never been. No.
you're
Driven
not-
through it, I believe.
Yeah, did you see any Reno shit going through Pittsburgh?
No, but as far as like people know about it,
Yeah.
and like, oh, that's also in Pennsylvania.
It was, dude.
You know?
It was crazy.
Yeah, never been to Pittsburgh.
We were in Pittsburgh. What was that, Danny? Like 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, we were in Pittsburgh, and you're going out there, and I mean,
like 5 hours, right? Like 4 or 5.
yeah, but
It's a chunk.
It's pretty. It's because
Could be in the same state.
nobody. You never think about it until you're driving. Like
Yeah.
until you're driving through Pennsylvania, you don't think about how big it is. And it's not that it's just big. There's fucking nothing in the middle
At all.
There's
At all.
nothing there. And in a way, I get it. It must be like nice if you're in a city and you want to escape to like the woods or whatever.
But even their woods are boring. Like the drive back home to upstate New York.
very true.
Have you ever gone up to like Syracuse?
Yeah.
Or any, it's mountainy and
Dude,
woodsy and trees.
it's a beautiful landscape.
It's a nice. You got something to look at.
Driving up to Canada through
Yeah,
there and then
beautiful.
back again, it's amazing.
It's a nice time.
Driving through Pennsylvania, there's nothing
It's just it's
there
it's
at
a
all.
slog.
And you would think they would put
Something.
a few things,
Yeah.
even just dumb tourist trap shit.
Yeah.
They don't have any of it. There's no like Bigfoot museums. There's no fucking Appalachia museum.
Yeah,
There's
there
nothing
really
like
isn't. They don't. They don't have pride. You know, New York
No.
at least has the I Heart New York bullshit going around like everywhere.
Yeah,
and like
there was
upstate, like they're like try our upstate wines and like they try to trick you into thinking that there's stuff there.
Yeah, there was a shirt that said like Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah.
really, it was like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I guess so.
It's not as
Pennsylvania.
bad as Ohio.
Yeah.
But it's still.
We're here.
We're here.
We're here. Original 13.
Yeah.
That's all that they have. That's all that Pennsylvania has. It was like, we had the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
And that's really
Since then,
about it.
nothing.
We haven't really done anything.
I didn't know this until I was doing stuff like around Delaware. How they always they like their first state.
Oh, Delaware, the first state. Yeah,
They
they
like-
love it.
First state.
You know
maybe
what
it's like
you know what they're
yeah.
the first state of?
Huh.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know what I don't even think they know. Do you know what the first state means?
don't. Yeah.
The first state, they're the first state to ratify the Constitution. Oh. So they were the first.
I was gonna say timeline. They
didn't do anything.
They definitely weren't the first state.
They're not the first state.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that's what they.
Yeah, because I'm like, no, New York was around. Pennsylvania was definitely
Pennsylvania
a thing.
was around. New Jersey is the ocean.
Is the ocean.
They get there through there. You have to go the rest of the way.
Rehoboth wasn't doing nothing.
No. It's fucking dumb. Delaware, again, I understand the appeal of residing in Delaware.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no tax.
Yep.
Apparently, it's cheap to buy a house there. I don't know exactly how cheap, but you don't have any, house tax and shit like that.
Yeah.
But then when you're in Delaware, there's nothing in Delaware.
There's nothing. The most fun. I go to Bar 13 every Wednesday.
There you go.
Which is so much fun. But also, that's all there is in Delaware. Is that bar and all the comics from all over Delaware, all from up top.
So
come out, and it's a fun time.
I bet it's a great time. I've been to Bar 13. It's a great bar.
It's a fun. Love the vibe.
Very fun.
Very good vibe. Yeah.
But in Delaware,
Cancer Slug just played there. Come on.
Cancer Slug played at fucking Bar 13.
They were so pissed because they bumped the mic. They're like, "Yeah, fucking Cancer Slug's here." I'm like,
"What are you gonna do?
Come on, dude. Let's go.
It's CS.
Let's
shut up, dude.
It's CS. Let's party."
They're the first Cancer Slug to be in this goddamn state.
Yeah. Be happy for them.
Just be pumped that they're there.
What I love about it is Delaware, like, you will see everybody in Bar 13.
Yeah.
Black dudes, white dudes, scary trailer trash
It
people.
gets everybody. That's because there's nothing to do.
There isn't. There's nothing. I was talking to a buddy who lived there. He's like, no, that's all of Delaware.
Yeah.
Is that. Like, everybody's like, hey, we're buds, at
But
least.
that's how it is. The farther you go west in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like, I used to go see concerts. There was a venue called the Chameleon Club outside of Lancaster.
Okay.
So you go there, and like I would go see like Guar out there and fucking cattle decapitation out there.
Yeah.
And you'd go because you're like, oh, this is gonna be a sick show.
Yeah.
Everyone in the town. And I mean everyone. You'd show up there as old people, children.
Because there's something to do finally.
Something to do.
Yeah, so they all go.
They
That's
have
great.
nothing, and they all go. Every show was sold out. The mezzanine is filled with people you'd never think would be at one of these shows, and they're just, I guess I'm here.
I'm at a Guar show.
Dude,
Yeah.
watching them. But that was the craziest thing. They have to sell those tickets for locals. They gotta be pennies on the fucking dollar.
Sure.
Because they show up, Guar starts playing, and it's Guar.
Yeah.
So they're watching, and you see them like just pick up their stuff. Dude, they were showing up with like shopping bags. Like they just got home, like, I guess I'll just see what's happening at the pop in the Chameleon Club. Just take a look. Dude, people get it. I'm like, not for me.
Yeah, you know them
Not
Guar
for me.
boys?
Yeah.
That might kind of,
It's
my
just,
cup of tea.
they don't have anything to do, and I can appreciate being in a place where there's nothing to do, and then something shows up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Soul Joel had the Comedy Dome in Royersford.
Yep.
And it was something to do for the first time in probably 40 years in Royersford.
Yeah.
Like I grew up there my whole life in Royersford and Spring City. And there was nothing ever to do. Ever. And it wasn't until someone even made the Penhurst Asylum into a horror attraction that was the only thing
that there was
to do. That they're like, finally we can use this building that housed all these mental patients.
Crazy people.
And let's have some fun with it.
That's great.
And it took so long to get there, dude. There was fucking nothing. And then the Comedy Dome shows up, and it's a good time. And then what happens is, this is what I was kind of blown away by. The Chameleon Club, I guess that's something to do out there where people can come to it. It's air conditioning. It's nice enough inside.
Sure.
And it's not always the same act.
Yeah.
It can be different, musical stuff. You're popping in, you're seeing opera one day, maybe some gospel another day, and then you're seeing, the president get his head cut off while a guy pisses all over the crowd. It's a fucking, grab bag.
Pageantry.
So in Royersford and with the Comedy Dome, it's all comedy.
Yeah.
And people still complained about it. That's why the Comedy Dome's gone from Royersford.
Is it?
Yeah. Soul Joe's is that.
No, I know
Sunnybrook
it's at that other side, that like golf place or whatever.
That's why they got rid of it.
Oh, I thought it was just like a honey.
No.
Got you.
People complain.
People stink.
That, and it comes down to this: the geriatrics.
Yeah.
In Royersford and Spring City,
They run the town.
They are. The population is almost 75% of people over the age of 65.
Sure.
So when they vote or don't want something,
It goes.
It fucking goes hard.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even when the Comedy Dome was starting, I remember doing a show there and Joel was like super pumped that we were doing all this shit. And he's like, yeah, I hope the motorcycle guys don't show up tonight. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is how petty the town is.
Yeah.
Guys on their motorcycles would go into the parking lot and ride
just
around in
rev it
circles and
be
rev their
annoying.
engines just to be
To
annoying.
ruin the show.
To ruin the show
What
because
the
they were
fuck?
tired of laughter. They were tired
Yeah.
of hearing, you guys are too loud. You're
Too
riding a
loud.
fucking hog, you fucking cocksucker. Shut the fuck up. It's crazy that no one can just let a good thing happen.
Yeah.
Where it's like, money was coming into the town.
Sure, yeah.
People were
New
showing
people
up.
were showing up.
People were going out of the way, even if they were like, wow, look at this quaint little village.
Yeah.
You still had people coming in. There is nothing that keeps anybody. That's the craziest thing. The only thing that keeps people in Royersford and Spring City is the fact that you were born there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Yeah,
like,
man.
oh, I've never gone anywhere else
That's
and I
the-
don't really need to do
Literally
anything
what
else.
I just left upstate. It's all those
crazy.
people. We just our failed industry left and right. Like we had a corset factory, a fucking
Sick.
like I think a typewriters when the corsets went out, and then those got
You guys
knocked
are
out.
batting 1,000.
Just horrible, horrible. Always sucks. And now there's a school there. There's Cortland State, and that's pretty much that. Or a hospital.
I got you.
And so my mom's a doctor and stuff, so she's like plugged into the medical things, but she's like, well, now that Trump is going to get rid of Medicare, like all of the hospital here
Sure.
that they just built, like those are now going to be vacant because that's all everybody has here
Yeah,
is
man.
Medicare. Like, because they're all old people, and then the college kids, but then the college kids leave.
I
in the
always
summertime.
wonder what
So it's just that fucking town.
I always wonder what it would be like to go to a town where it is all like everyone who lives, not like an assisted living community,
Yeah.
but a whole town. But then everyone dies in the town.
Oh yeah,
That would be
That'd be
sick.
something. Then just buy everything over.
You could
Like,
just
all right,
buy
let's restart it.
Let's start a new
Make
fucking
it, yeah,
town. You're just
Shanerville,
waiting
yeah.
for the last person to die. Kind of like Centralia, only
Yeah.
everything's still around.
Yeah.
That's another thing, man. The things in Pennsylvania where people are like, yo, let's go check this out, are all decimated areas.
Yeah, yeah. The underground coal fire or whatever.
Centralia, 3 Mile Island.
Uh-huh.
It's shit. You're like, we probably shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go
We're
anywhere.
gonna check it out.
The only thing I could say that in Pennsylvania that I've never found, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and I don't know if I've never been there, but I do think about it. So do you know about Midgetville? Have you ever heard of Midgetville?
What, is that the place in China?
No.
No, no. I think China has one. Something
Has
like
a
that.
Midgetville?
Yeah.
Oh, for all dwarves?
Like little people, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Carl Pilkington and the little dude, Warwick Davis, I think they went. And they're like, yeah, look, all these midgets.
That's
up here.
got to be a
Yeah.
wild fucking thing.
Yeah.
Apparently,
But
outside
there's one here?
of Delaware County, there was a hidden midget village.
Little fellas.
That all of these former circus
people,
performers
sure.
and allegedly most of the fucking dwarves that were in
No.
the Wizard of Oz.
What else would they be in? So, yeah.
They retired and then resided in this
In the
midget
midget
town,
community.
and they built small houses and had small yards and small streets. And
Nice.
allegedly, when you went there, they would chase you out.
No.
I don't even know if
And
that's
that's
true.
somewhere. That's definitely.
It's like an urban legend, but apparently, I had this book called Weird Pennsylvania, and like it has all the fucking weird urban legends and all this
Sure.
shit, which is very interesting. But then you're like, it's all like alleged.
Yeah.
It's all like it might have been there. There are reports of people going there. Whether or not that's true, I would love to fucking find it. I would love to find that.
Yeah.
Like a decimated midgetville
Yeah.
would be fucking amazing.
Yeah. So did it shut down?
I don't know. We don't know.
Nobody knows it, so they got
We don't know what happened to all these fucking. Because when a midget dies, does anyone hear it?
Yeah,
You know,
nobody
like when
knows
a midget
nothing.
falls in a house
Uh-huh.
and no one's around, does it make a noise?
I wouldn't hear it.
You know,
anyway.
you would never know. Because that means there's also a midget graveyard.
Yeah.
There's a midget hospital. There's a midget jail. There's a midget. There's got to be a midget.
Yeah.
There got to be a midget death row. There's got to be a midget.
They don't have to be.
There's got to be
Maybe
a
they- I
midget
think-
lethal injection chamber.
Oh,
There's got to be
little
something.
guys.
What do you do?
Yeah, where do you draw the line? You're like,
You know?
all right, if we're got a midget town, midget Chinese food, midget.
What- yeah, we're
you gotta get. Yeah,
gonna
it's
have
only little corns.
A little bit
Yeah.
of midget racism. We don't want
Yeah.
these midget black people moving
Yeah,
into this
no,
part.
God, no.
There's a midget gang.
Sure.
There's got to be a midget high school.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be like even is the plumbing better or worse?
Ooh,
You know?
little turds. Nah, they still have human guts.
They have human-sized poops.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have human poops.
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah. That's why it's hard to pick them up because their guts are still like they're very dense. I hear.
That's why it's hard to pick them up.
Yeah, man.
There's confidence like, yo, there's no way you can pick up a midget.
Like I can, but
No.
I'm gonna struggle.
I think
I think I was just watching this the other day. I think it was in Mexico or something. The goal was to put this midget on like a bucket. He couldn't do it.
To pick up a midget,
Pick
like
up the
a
midget.
strongman competition.
Yeah, not like a strongman competition. It seemed like a carnival
Sure, it probably
environment.
was, yeah.
And you know how you could like box like kangaroos back in the day. It
Sure.
was like something like that.
Picking up a midget.
Picking up a midget, and the midget he couldn't get up on
How
the
much could a midget possibly weigh?
hard enough. And I mean, they fight too. You know, they don't just let you pick them
Oh
up.
no, they're not.
No,
They're not just dead weight
Nah,
midgets.
no, dude. It's competition. Bring some competition.
I
to
like
it.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Can you pick me up? $10. Oh,
fucking
that
dare
would
it.
be.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Angle.
And somebody's like, of course I can. It's like,
Oh, all right.
All right.
Let's see.
All right, tough guy. You got, I think it was like a minute. He had a minute to pick this midget up, put him on. You're a strong guy. You do wrestling
I
stuff.
guess I don't know if I could though. I don't know if I could. My biggest fear, and again, not that I believe it.
Real low center of gravity.
I know,
man.
dude.
It's-
They don't fall over. And when
No.
they do, have you ever seen them?
They just kinda crumple.
They kind of go back up and they kind of weeble
Yeah.
wobble.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I don't really
Like
understand.
cats.
I don't know the physics of midgets.
I don't
the
either.
midgets. I don't know the midgets
I don't know.
of these men and women. But I
Yeah.
do know. Oh wait, here's what. Dude, 150-pound midget is nuts.
It's heavy. That's a hefty
That's
fella.
a fucking
Lady
real person.
Yeah.
I weigh 100.
50's light. You think you can
50,
get,
no 50s. You can
pick up a 50-pound midget.
bags of potatoes.
Bags of
right there.
potatoes. They
A
ain't
big
fighting
sack
you.
of potatoes.
They ain't
That's
pinching
true,
you,
that's
you
not-
know?
they're not going They're not kicking with the little.
Yeah, they're
'cause
little
those-
tootsies.
Those legs have got to be like little baseball bats.
my
They got to
God,
be fucking real.
Yeah,
Those midges are fucking.
Dwarfism varies greatly. That's not fair.
I just think a 150-pound midget is. I would be more.
That
afraid-
person's 4'8" or whatever. You know, like
Straight
whatever
up.
the cutoff.
Yeah, like
is.
where the cutoff
You're
is.
like, all right.
However, I would say if you were in front of a 3-foot, 150-pound man, my biggest concern, honestly, wouldn't be lifting it. It would be dropping it and having him break open like a fucking.
He's gonna burst.
That would
Yeah.
be the thing. Like,
yeah.
what do you? It's almost
what's
like
keeping his guts in?
it's
He's
almost
gotta
like cow
be,
tipping. You
like
know,
really
like,
packed in there.
when people would say like you have to push from the hips and the head. You have to keep your arms wide because if you run straight at it, you could go through.
you go through them. That's what
Now,
would happen.
whether or not that's true, I don't know. Because I know they make leather from cows. I've heard.
Yeah, but there's a whole
But
process.
I've heard
with
that
it.
the skin is so stretched that you could somehow put your hands through a fucking cow.
I thought you would push him over and it would just kill him.
I've heard that. I
that's
think
what
it
it
does
was.
kill them. I think it does kill them.
Yeah.
I think if you tipped over a midge, though,
Yeah.
I don't think it would kill them. They'd be upset.
They'd definitely be upset. Number one, upset.
Yeah.
You ever met one? Like had to hang out with one?
Midgets, dude.
Yeah.
So a couple of months ago, me and Mike Harrington, we did commentary for the microaggression.
I
midget
saw the
lessons.
posts about that. Okay.
And let me
yeah.
tell you something about those.
I bet those are hard drinking midgets, those ones.
You know what? There was a few that were fucking wasted.
Yeah.
But it, not. I will say this.
Sure.
Not before the match though.
Yeah, professional.
I'll give it to them.
Oh, no, I figured they would be professional.
You know, they were consummate professionals
Yeah.
in that aspect. But after
Then they turned it on.
there was one dude who was fucking wrecked.
Yeah, that's what I
And I don't
imagine.
even think he was a wrestler. I think he was like one
Just
of
a
the
fan.
He was a valet. He was like
Yeah,
one of the guys. He was like a hype man. He was like Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
But like he was fucking wrecked. I did find this very peculiar though. These are midget wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know, their whole thing, and keep in mind, these weren't like the guys you see on the poster. This was the B squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
They weren't,
these
and
are
nothing against them. They're not the guys who were like, oh, I know, I recognize this guy, I recognize that guy. They were definitely,
these guys feature every now and again.
they were definitely working.
Yeah,
They were definitely working. And
working
not only
fellas.
that,
Sure. Working their asses off. Their
Dude.
little midget asses off.
when we were hosting that night, they were leaving to go to, where the fuck were they going to? They were in Perryville, Maryland. So then they were going down to North Carolina, and they were doing that. That was the next
next night, right?
And
Yeah.
then going
Fuck outta
to
here.
South Carolina, all the
Bing,
way down.
bing, bing, bing. Just
Dude,
shows every
they
night.
apparently work like 7 months out of the year straight, like almost every day. And then they have like,
And then they got to work Christmas.
dude,
They gotta-
I know. And then the Christmas season comes around.
They got to go back to toys.
They gotta
It's
go
brutal,
back to
these
the
midgets.
malls.
Back to the
You know what? That's another thing. The downswing of malls. What do all the midgets do?
Yeah, man.
Where have all the midgets gone with the malls, man?
Yeah.
They're
Forget
just-
the Santas.
No, the Santas are a dime a
They're
dozen.
dime a dozen.
People go out of the way to even still dress
To
up.
be
like
honest,
Santa.
I never saw a midget. It was always white girls, kind of tall, Nordic-y
You never
looking elves.
You saw Nordic elves?
Yeah. Whenever this would be probably the Oakdale Mall in Binghamton, and then the Carousel. There would be a Santa,
Yeah.
but then on either side of him, kind of like Christmas Story, kind of like they're
sure.
like
Yeah,
those
yes,
grumpy
yes.
ass. Those are the elves I always.
That's
had.
not. That's.
I've only had those elves.
Yeah, I've seen two dwarves. There was one at the
Two dwarves
Coventry
down,
Mall.
dude,
At the,
hell yeah.
at the Coventry Mall. There was a Santa there who was the Santa sucked. He
Yeah.
was. It was like
Real beard.
no.
Yeah.
Fake ass beard, and not only that, it was one of the beard. Like, I would figure in the early '90s, fake beard technology has grown leaps and bounds since the '60s, '70s, '80s.
You would think.
Dude, this was honestly hooks on his ears, and it like hung down. And I was like, "This is fucking
That's
what
hilarious.
The, this guy's
You're not
fucking
even trying. Not
However,
even
I
trying.
think they knew because that guy sucked. They had to like, yo, we need the
We gotta
midgets.
step it up. Bring
we
the
need
midgets
the
out.
dwarves. And the thing was, the dwarves were selling it.
Nice. That's great.
It was almost like they were like, "Hey, we know he's not really Santa, but we're representing him." Like it was a
They
very.
gotta shop it out.
They really did a great job, but the one guy looked terrifying.
The-
He was the one dwarf.
elf. Yeah.
Fucking very like almost scary. Like
Yeah.
scared you in thinking like I have to be good.
Yeah.
Because if I
He
if I'm
did his
not,
job, dude.
It was crazy, and that was also when I heard the urban legend too, and I believed this for the longest time. My older brother told me. He's like, mean midgets carry a thing in their mouth. If they bite you, you could be a midget.
That's a good. That's a
And
good
I was
truth
like,
that he gave you.
No way.
No
He's
way.
like, no, it happens.
It happens.
It's like
to
a lot of the midgets you see. It's like
That's why
they
they're so
were born
mean.
midgets.
Yeah,
they were
we got
bitten and
made.
became midgets.
Man.
And I was like, you can transfer. Like that was
That's one of those things that
very scary. To me.
it's mean spirited, but it kept you acting right, didn't it?
Without a doubt. My brother told me a few
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that I believed for the longest time. And not even like they were unbelievable, but like you just, there was no evidence proving otherwise.
Sure,
There
yeah.
was no internet.
You're like, I just don't think this is right.
And if it, and it was so off the wall and dumb that if I did ask anyone, they'd just be like, "Get out of here, retard!"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, believe whatever you want. So for the longest time, I believed that the drummer from Def Leppard lost his arm taunting an alligator at Disney World.
That's good.
And he was like, "Yeah, just bit it clean off.
Bit
and they
it
didn't
right
know
off.
what to do."
And then he just
And then
kept
they
on
tried. So then he told me. Then he like would tie things in. He convinced me that the opening scene from Terminator 2 was based on a true story.
What?
And he was like, "Yeah, dude, like
That
the fuck-"
happened to a
he's like-
couple people.
He's like, it was like this is stylized, but like they actually, you got to watch out for this shit." And then he was telling me that the drummer from Def Leppard, they tried to put a robot arm on him, and it became Rogue. So then they took it off of, and I was just for the longest time I just believed this hook, line, and sinker because there was nothing, there was no one saying
And,
like,
and why
"Hey,
would he lie to you?
why?" Well, I mean, I know why because he's my older brother.
I mean,
That's
now,
exactly
but
why.
but
But then I was like, I guess that makes
That
sense.
must be the
it
truth.
Makes perfect sense. And he was like, "Yeah, man, if you get bitten by a midget,
they could turn you into a midget.
you could turn into a midget, and there'd be nothing you could do about it."
There isn't many things. Rabies is about the only thing where if you get bit, you actually turn into it. You know, AIDS, they said you could. You need a lot of saliva, though.
Wait a minute. Even if you knew you couldn't get AIDS from being bitten by an AIDS man,
Yeah.
would you tolerate being bitten by somebody with AIDS? Even if you knew it could, even if I knew that
I do know that it can't happen.
Even
probably.
if I knew I couldn't turn into a midget being bitten by a midget,
You still wouldn't.
if a midget bit me and then started laughing, I would be like, oh,
It's
no.
over. Yeah.
That's what you never want to hear.
Yeah.
If a midget's like, haha, 7 days, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to be shorter than I already am. Fuck.
You gotta go to Baby Gap. Get all
Yeah,
your clothing.
I don't need any of that. I need to
No.
buy a new toilet because then you could fall in.
Oh my
and
God, yeah.
suck.
You think they use real toilets
No,
or just
they-
the potty?
So,
Those little.
wild that you mentioned this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
my
no.
friend Savannah, when she was looking for houses actually up in North Philadelphia, she was planning on buying a house. We were going and looking at all of these fucking houses. She didn't want to go by herself. She's like, yeah, I'm showing up. The realtor is like, the realtor isn't even there. They're just leaving the keys in the
In the little box.
and you can just go through and do a walkthrough, which was crazy to us.
Yeah.
But we went in this one house.
Lousy
Wasn't-
with midgets. Nothing but.
Dude, the way it was set up, we were kind of confused why everything was like a little off kilter.
Yeah.
And then we went up to the bathroom, and dude, the toilet was like for a child, but it
Yeah.
was the only toilet.
It was
and
just little, like in like
Dude,
an elementary
not only
school
was it
sized toilet.
small,
Yeah.
like short. It was like
A proper toilet.
small, so like a midget's ass wouldn't fall into a big one. And what I was so blown away was like midgets have pretty big dumpers.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah, they
midget
get
ass
some hindquarters
pretty
on
big. Those wrestling chicks,
Yeah.
huge ass.
Big asses.
So I was like, they could sit on a regular toilet and be fine.
Yeah.
So my head was
The
like,
height, maybe.
somebody, dude,
Fall
even
off?
the bowl was
Bowl was
small.
different. Whoa.
Like it was crazy. She sat on it and was like laughing.
This is hilarious.
Her knees were up, and she's like, "What is this?"
is funny.
And I was like, maybe there's another bathroom somewhere. Like maybe
Yeah.
this was for a child that couldn't leave. And I started developing my own story. Like,
course,
they put
yeah.
a kid up here who could never come down the stairs.
Yeah,
and
there's
it
definitely.
had primordial dwarfism, and it was super small.
Had to crawl around.
And then like we went down the basement.
What?
All
Yeah.
of the light switches were
Way down low.
way down low.
Whoa.
And it wasn't until we got in the kitchen we realized that the countertop, so the countertop was like kind of high, but not really.
Yeah.
But then the sink was like
Kind of cut down. Yeah.
dude, it was like lowered, and we were like, "What is this?" And then we were like, "Maybe it's somebody with a wheelchair."
Sure, that would make sense.
No ramp. No ramp,
Never
no
mind.
fucking elevator, no
Yeah.
nothing. So we were like,
They're
"They're
really good with that wheelchair.
the 4-wheel drive wheelchair.
It's got treads on it.
Holy
dude.
fucking shit. This is the End Podcast with Ryan Shaner.
Hello.
Sorry I didn't do the intro earlier. I'm joined by the one and only Seth Ruddick. Thank you so much for being on the goddamn show. Do you have
Thanks for
anything to plug for anybody? Listening?
I made an album. Should I
Whoa.
plug that?
Yeah, plug the album.
I don't know how to get it out there though.
So
Which is really bad. I have it.
you made it?
I have it
It's
made.
done.
Done. Listen to it. It works. Don't know what to do now.
I think you put it on iTunes.
Is that the move?
I think that's the move, man.
Yeah.
iTunes, Libsyn,
What's Libsyn?
Spotify.
What is that?
What's the other one? What's the other one that's
What's
good?
the other thing?
There's another one.
What are you talking? Like Google?
Yeah, I guess you can put it
Google?
on Google. Yeah. Just say, like, wait, is it like a digital download album or is it like a real CD?
I want to make CDs because I like
I
the
get it.
idea
I-
of having something that nobody will buy.
I get what you're like.
You
I
know?
get what I get it. I get the physical media thing.
As of right now, it's just, I mean, I have the file with all the
Yeah,
shit.
if you have the file,
Yeah.
I guess put a link on your Instagram.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
You put a link on your Instagram.
Yeah. That's why I came here,
I'm
honestly.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
Put a link.
Also, Shaner wouldn't be able to figure any of this out. Either.
No!
Don't let him.
Hey, I know to put a link on the Instagram. I'm right on that, Danny.
Yeah, and where's that link gonna go to, and how do you set
It's
that
funny
up?
that he brings that up because I did send the link to somebody and then he's like, oh, I'm going to listen to it right away. And then I've worked with him since. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
So either he really hated it
yeah.
or it didn't work when I sent him to him.
I think
I know it's been sent to me and I can listen to it,
Sure.
which I haven't.
You haven't listened
No,
to it?
I have.
Oh,
'Cause I don't want to.
No, I get it.
Shaner wrote a book a year ago.
It's
Can't
not a
figure
year.
out how to get that out of it.
It's about 6 months, and I'm still working on getting it formatted. Do you know how insane it is? Dude, I'm telling you.
As a man with an album, he doesn't know how to release. Brother, I'm with you.
Dude, every person I've sent this to, and even when I've gone down through Red Z and other, like, you know, places where they can do it, I'm like, I need this. And I need this. And they're like, well, we offer this, this, and this. I'm like, I understand. Is there anyone, if you can't do it, can you put me on the track to getting someone who can?
Yeah.
And it's always just like another direction or not. And then when I have people who I do appreciate, who are willing to be like, yo, I can take a look at this. I can do this for free. I can check this out. I'm all for that. But when you do that and then they only do a quarter of it and then send it back, I'm like, what did you, I don't know what you did. I don't know what it did. And like, again, I appreciate any help I get with it. But it is an infuriating mess.
I recorded this in November, and then recently I thought I gave D'Alto everything that I needed.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't give me track names. I'm like, let's just do track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's like, I've done that.
Yeah,
I've done that. Can you give me the names? I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do names. But that would involve me listening to it for like a 5th time.
Well, I mean, the way you, so when you write down your jokes, do you have the name?
I do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I ended up doing.
That's what I would
but
do.
some of the bits, like they kind of went into other shit.
Sure, but the track, it doesn't matter. Just get the meat and potatoes on it.
Brother,
I did. Potatoes on the
I did. I ended up sending him not enough names. So he had, out of the 20, I think I had 25 tracks, and I sent him 24 names. And he's like,
you're only one off.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
You could just make something up.
Well, so I said, thank God it's over for the last one.
There you go.
And then he does the end. I'm like, well, that's not, I don't like that, but I could change it at any time.
Sure. I mean, thank God it's over is pretty good.
That's a good ending.
I think that's a good
you
one.
know?
You know, we all got through it
We
together.
all got through it together.
Well, again, if you're looking for Seth Ruddick's album,
You and me both.
there's going to be a link at one point in time on his Instagram. And when you get it, it'll probably be a great album.
It's going to be great.
Where did you record it at?
John and Peters.
John and Peters.
Yeah.
Amazing place.
It was really fun.
That's great.
I think that we had 50, it was either 56 or 53 people in there.
great.
It was great for that little
great, yeah,
room.
for that one, yeah.
It was so much fun.
Did Dean Ween show up?
He was the bartender.
Nah, of course he was.
Yeah, he was bartender.
Yeah, the last show I did
Yeah.
at John and Peters, Dean was there.
Yeah.
And we were doing a storytelling show called Nobody Died. And then he decided that he wanted to be involved, which is great.
Sure.
Sure, we're not going to tell the guy no.
Of course not.
He was tripping at the time
Yep.
on like, he had admitted, he's like, I don't know. I don't remember how much acid I took.
That's cool.
He's like, I don't remember how much acid I took. And then he starts going on this, dude, the direction he was going in with the story was so ridiculous that it's like you were waiting for it to come full circle.
Sure.
And at the end, which had nothing to do with anything. I don't even remember the whole story, but
course
the
not.
end was like, and that's when I pissed myself.
yeah.
That was the whole punch. He's like, all right, thank you so much for everything. And keep in mind, there was only like maybe 12 people at
Sure.
who half left during his... Dude,
Yeah.
he was on for maybe 30 minutes. Just going nowhere.
That's insane.
And I can't... I'm not going to be like, we were trying to light him. But you're
What is
not...
that?
Yeah.
You're
He
not-
just probably thought there was like a lens flare in his
Yeah.
fucking goddamn peripheral. He
Yeah.
had no idea what the fuck was going on.
yeah.
I don't... I wasn't bummed, but I was like, man, now we have to finish real quick because he was bringing in a band later. So
good.
that was the thing. We were like,
let's
we're
wrap
doing
it
this.
up.
We have to everyone's got to do 3 minutes and be like, all right, that's what happened with us.
Yeah.
It was a very, look, I'm never going to tell anybody how to do their job,
Sure.
but don't fucking do
Don't
that.
do that.
Don't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, look, if you want
Yeah.
to be on however much acid you want
Sure.
at your place,
Sure.
it's your bar.
Absolutely.
But like, if you're like, hey, I'm going to railroad this whole fucking
Let me crash this show.
Let me just say a story that has nothing to do with anything, not even on theme
Yeah.
with this storytelling show. And then at the end, just
Is that
cap
what
it.
really chapped you? Was there was no theme?
You know what it was? It's that it's not that there was no theme. It wasn't
Cohesive?
even
Yeah.
funny. Like
Yeah.
it was like the ramblings of
Yeah.
like, yo, just someone who's on
Somebody who's on acid.
that much
a lot of
acid.
acid. Yep.
That
Yep.
was what really bummed me out. It was like, yo, this could be funny if he was saying anything that was funny. But he's really just kind of going nowhere, and it sucks. And then
Well, luckily, he was serving drinks.
Look at that.
At my thing. So
we
it was
got
great.
some phone calls if you want to throw on them
Ooh,
cans.
yeah.
We're gonna get them. Maybe we'll have an ironic message about a man who wants to listen to a comedy album. We've been
That'd be lovely.
We've been crushing it with the ironic messages.
Hey, Ryan, it's Chad. I got a question for you. I don't know if you're a gun guy or maybe the guest is a gun guy or a gun girl. If you were to shoot somebody 15 feet away from them, 5 times in the back, 1 time in the head, with 45 hollow points, wouldn't that kill them? Because I'm reading Kyle Odom's manifesto where he tried to kill an alien. And that's what he used. A 45. He shot him
Sure.
5 times in the back, 1 time in the head, 45 hollow points from 15 foot away, and it didn't kill this person. Or alien. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm only on page 29 of it, and I will tell you what. Martians raped Obama. If you want to be in a position of power, you're getting raped by a Martian. All right. Love you.
Later, buddy. I would say, like, when he started saying, wouldn't that kill someone?
A person,
yes.
absolutely it would. But as soon as you bring in aliens,
as soon as he said aliens, like, dude, all bets are fucking off, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the supernatural.
Yeah, you're in their realm.
Yeah, you're not killing an alien. I got to be honest with you, it would be sick to blow an alien's head. Like,
You just want to blow an alien?
it just suck off an alien.
Fucking fan.
Yo, dude, that's how you get power.
That's how you get power.
That's how Obama did it. But if I
hang on, is sucking off an alien getting raped by an alien? I didn't mentally.
No,
I
no.
didn't go to.
You can get mouth raped by an alien.
Yeah, but
know?
yeah,
I'm
sucking
just
off
saying.
seems complicit. Like you're trying to just help the alien
I
out.
don't know. If I'm sucking off anybody, I'm doing it not against my will.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Sure.
If there's a dick in my mouth, it's not because I'm like, you know what? I think this is the time.
This will be.
No, I think if there's a wiener in my mouth, something's gone terribly wrong.
It's not been good for you.
Yeah, it's
okay,
been a
all
bad
right.
time.
All right.
So I would say though, I would love to shoot an alien and have it be like when the T-1000 was shot with the exploding round.
Sure.
And just like, canoe his head.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
That would be fun.
But I don't think that like when
And
you
he shot him in the back. He was saying.
Yeah.
This alien was. Come on, man.
Walking
Stand your
away.
ground.
Nah.
That was not.
That alien had no fucking time for you. It's kind of like people were like, I shot Sasquatch 7 times and he still didn't go down. It's Sasquatch,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
It's Bigfoot.
Yeah. You ain't gonna get him like that.
You think you're going to fucking shoot a fucking skunk ape and they're going to go away?
You ever see an alien
Have I ever seen an alien?
or like aliens?
Never seen a UFO. Never had a
UFO
bona
or
fide
anything like
UFO encounter. I've never seen one. I want one. I want a serious UFO. Well, have you seen one?
I don't know what I saw. I saw something.
What did you see?
I saw a bunch of lights like fucking.
When
going.
was this?
This was years ago.
Okay, so it wasn't the drones that were all
No. Way before.
I saw the drone. I've
seen drones too.
The drone was fucking nuts.
Drone. It wasn't as scary because like there's the depth. I could see that it was close. That's what fucked with me is how far away these lights were and like how quickly they went. And then they like seemed to come close and then back and then just went.
Where was
This is upstate New York.
All right.
Yeah, like back at my mom's house on 41A. But there's no like lights or nothing.
Were you
It's
the
just-
only one who saw it?
Yeah, it was me. I was
That's-
walking the dogs.
Sucks.
Yeah, horrible. I looked at the dog. I'm like, nobody's gonna believe me now.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When people talk about like seeing UFOs or
Yeah.
aliens or whatever, it's like an individual thing. And some people are like, it's so great that I myself.
No, I was so scared.
I wanna almost a borderline mass hysteria thing.
Yeah,
Like I wanted like where I'm like, yo, that's
We all
fucking
saw that
wild.
shit. Yeah.
Where everyone's like, yo, I'm on the same page with you. There's no way that wasn't a fucking real
it would
thing.
be really nice.
That would be sick.
Well, and then I saw a thing because then I started going down. Not Veritas. What is it's like it's a. I don't know if it's a production company or something, but they make documentaries that are usually bad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
You know what I'm
about.
talking about? It was something like that, but they were all like alien encounter shit. So there's people that like once you see one, you keep seeing them, and it's like that's because they like revealed them some kind of nonsense like that.
no.
I don't buy that, but I have seen things that I don't know what they were.
Sure.
and I'm like, well,
I think the once and
I don't have the answer.
the once and doners are the one that are like more believable.
Yeah,
Like like Travis Walton, the guy from Fire in the Sky.
sure, yeah.
That's a believable story. He's
Sure.
like, yeah, it never happened again. My whole life fucking sucks.
My
now.
fucking-
like everything's fucked
There's
up.
a comic I know that knows that guy.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, he's Not putting on an act.
I think whether or not he was abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But all I do know is that something
happened
to
guy.
him.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think if you're shooting and if you're trying to kill an alien, one, everyone I think should know fire is the way to
I would
go.
fire, man, like a
use the
Nazgul.
flamethrower. Something. Dude.
Yeah, you gotta burn
Fire's
them
the way to go. Like guns, like our mortal weapons aren't going to go up against an intergalactic being. That's not how it fucking works. You know what I found? Nothing lives in fire.
Nah.
Not a goddamn thing.
No.
So I think fire is always the way to go. Get yourself a flamethrower.
The problem is fire isn't very satisfying. You don't think? As far as like blowing an alien apart.
I'm saying a flamethrower.
Flamethrower.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then seeing an alien fucking
That would be all right. That would be where the satisfaction comes in. Yeah, seeing them run around.
Just seeing the glowing eyes like, oh no. And then just falling apart. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can't go back to shooting things after
No,
that.
after using a flamethrower, dude,
Yeah.
once you flame, you never go back.
No, you never
dude.
go back. Yeah.
All right, we got one more message.
Message.
Hi, Ryan. Love the show.
Hey.
So I heard your episode with Tim Butterly, and
That's not me.
I really related to your cat situation with your girlfriend, except I clearly am the girlfriend. Our little dog needed surgery on his eye, and eventually just decided to remove it. My boyfriend steps up and covered the cost, which was awesome. But ever since my dog's surgery, he's been a total menace. He's super aggressive. Yeah. Whenever my boyfriend and I try to get it on, he barks like crazy, and he tries to attack us the second we touch. It gets worse whenever we're getting intimate. You know, like I'm trying to give him a bead, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
The dog is always
very
trying to jump in. He's always trying to catch a lick, if you know what I mean. It's gross, and it's beyond pissing my boyfriend off, and I'm not sure what to do because getting rid of him is not an option.
Sure.
Putting him outside the door, he just barks and scratches at the door. And yeah, we're both just sick of it, and we don't know what to do because the dog just wants to participate. All right. You have a huge fan base in Dallas-Fort Worth, so we'd love to see you.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Well, that's nice.
Thank you. And thank you, Dallas Fort Worth. I will say, that is a fucking, dude, the amount of dogs I've dealt with, like, in a weird cock block situation is crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, unless
It's usually the smaller dogs I've noticed.
that's
that get,
my first question was going to be, how big is this dog?
Yeah.
You know, like the bigger dogs are usually like, I mean, some are, some aren't, but like usually more chill.
Bigger dogs are chill because they
after
know
a little bit.
they cuddle with their mommy or daddy or
Sure.
whatever. So they're like, nah, I get my lovins that
Yeah.
way. They when little dogs see that kind of affection being given, they
The
don't.
jealousy.
They get so jealous,
And I don't
Yeah.
really understand it because, you know, like eventually, it's not like we're going away forever. That was like, there was a couple chicks that I used to mess around with who had, one dog had the worst separation anxiety ever. In fact, it like controlled her life.
Yeah.
She had to like leave work, like during work, to go home and like spend time with it on like a break and then come back. And like, luckily the job she was working at was totally cool with her doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Not curing cancer,
that's
that lady. is she?
crazy. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
She's working at a Yankee Candle Factory.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's insane.
And that dog was like,
Sure. I bet it was a great dog.
it was, but then like, again, when it comes down to the getting intimate thing, there would be times she and I would be in a room and the dog would be slamming its head. And I'm not fucking around, not pawing, slamming its head into the door.
And what would it do if you had it in the room?
Would like just wait at the edge of the bed and like circle the bed. It would get on the bed. It would get, dude, it was such a fucking
And you
nightmare.
couldn't get past that. That was a bigger dog?
The
or
bigger
little-
dog. It was
Ah,
a fucking,
bigger dog,
it was
okay.
a, dude, it was a fucking, it was a Doberman something mix.
Okay, yeah.
So it
Big
was like
boy.
not a huge
He could be
dog.
standing up and his
Dude,
head is on the bed.
It was
kind of
and like just getting in, getting out, barking, and then doing that thing where it would like stamp its feet and then like, like always like pay attention, pay attention. With the smaller dogs, I can't. I guess the only thing you could do with a smaller dog,
Put it in a cage.
if you get it like a crate,
Yeah.
and
They
kind
make
of
those.
move it.
Yeah. You keep it in the same room. It's going to make noise, but...
I mean, there's also... I've
Put some music
also...
on, ignore the dog.
wanted to... There's got to be... I just don't understand. And I mean, I know the technology... You'd think the technology is there now. We're living in the fucking future.
Yeah.
But like a small... Like a tranquilizer gun that you can shoot a dog with.
Yeah.
You know, like a little dog like you can just... You hit it, you know, dog doesn't go to sleep, but like it's chilled out.
Yeah. Benadryl.
You know? Benadryl, but with the fun.
It is fun to shoot
That's
something with a gun.
and
Yeah.
convenience.
Yeah, it is way more
Of a
convenient.
dart gun.
Yeah.
You know?
You ever cram a pill down a dog's throat that
Come
doesn't
on,
want to take
that
it?
doesn't always want
I
it. What am I
know,
gonna
yeah.
do? How much cheese am I going to waste in this dog?
you
How
are
much ham?
burning a lot of cheese
How
and
much
ham.
ham? How much peanut butter am I wasting? If you had a little,
Yeah, put
you
them
know,
down.
hit it. You know, oh, I'm gonna crawl.
I'd probably
over there.
take a couple pops.
Oh,
of that.
see, that's the whole
That'd
thing.
be the problem.
With the dart gun,
yeah.
not only is it good enough for dogs, it's good enough for children
Yeah.
and the elderly. It
Children
covers
and
all
the
the bases.
elderly.
You know, when kids are acting up, shoot them from across
Whack
the
'em.
room.
You ever take dog medicine?
No, I can't say I have.
I've taken dog like muscle relaxers once, and like the peak drug addict, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Because it was around.
Of course.
They're flavored.
What do they taste like?
Not good. Not good.
They taste like meat.
It's supposed to
flavored?
be like
Yeah.
meaty something, like livery,
Yeah.
very salty.
Ew.
Very salty. So you throw it back and it's just
Did it work though?
no.
No, you-
no,
No,
it's for a dachshund, and I was a human man.
You have to take a whole
yeah. You need a
fistful of these
lot of
goddamn
dog
things?
pills. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't check the like how many milligrams?
I did, and then they said it wasn't going to be enough, and I'm like, well, I'm going to take them anyway.
Yeah, sure.
And, they were right.
What happened to the Dotson?
He's dead now.
Yeah.
You know,
It was expired.
It was expired wiener
dog.
dog meds. Yeah.
Sick. Dude.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I will also say, you know, if a dog or a cat of mine lost an eye,
I can weigh in on this. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it myself because I don't want to hurt an animal. But I'd be like, yo, can I get like a cool prosthetic eye in there?
So
Can I get like a cool like light up like eye like a fucking
like a
Terminator?
cyborg?
Yeah,
That'd be
that would
great.
be fucking awesome.
our dog Libby recently in the past 6 months lost an eye. Fucking another dog Ludo, and he matches. He's a big boy.
yeah.
He's whatever the fuck, King Corso something or other mix.
Gotcha.
And Libby is a little cocker spaniel. Squeezed her head, just like grabbed her, popped her eye out. Oh, they cut it out because they're like, ain't no.
Dog casinoed her eye.
They totally casinoed her eye, dude. Oh my god,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Terrible. Sorry.
Popped it out, but now Libby, she's always been kind of a little bitch.
Yeah.
They do get meaner.
Yeah, I think
Which
that,
I understand.
You know, losing a
She's lost
fucking
a
eye.
fucking eye. You can be salty.
Yeah, you can be pissed off for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I again, the cat that we had, it was fucking such a dope. It ate a piece of plastic. It got lodged in it.
Yeah.
Then 3 months later, it ate another toy and got lodged. We had to go right back. We were coming off
For
of
the same
surgery,
thing.
going into like, you know, almost a full recovery, and then went right back into the fucking thing. Dude, it
same
was
thing.
out of control.
Fuck. For not cheap, I would imagine.
No.
Yeah.
No. And that's, you know, like everyone's like, yo, you got to get pet insurance. And it's like, you're not wrong. I was going to be like, yeah, but I'm like, you're not wrong, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how much pet insurance is, but we should definitely,
I don't know, man. Insurance is whack. Did I tell you my car was stolen?
no. How'd that go?
Not great. I'm still working on it.
How'd that work out?
Well, it
I have
starts-
no idea how to release this comedy album,
Yeah.
and my car is gone.
Well, and when I get it, the reason I took it in, I was coming back from Delaware with a bunch of comics, dropping people off.
Straight up.
And then it just stopped driving. I open it up, and the comic I'm with, he's like, I've broken a lot of cars. This is a transmission. I'm like, don't say that.
Damn.
Don't say that. Get it to a mechanic. They're like, yeah, it's your transmission. This thing's shot. $1,500. All right, cool. Whatever. We're doing the thing. He calls me up the next day. I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? He's like, not great. Your car was just stolen. I'm like, that's a funny joke, dude. Like, you're a funny mechanic.
They stole your car with a fucked up transmission? Yeah. How does that work?
They took it.
Did they fix your car and then
They
take
did
it?
not. They did not. Thank God they didn't fix it. They stole it. These three hoodlums stole my car.
Hoodlums stole your car.
Some hoodlums stole my car. And then I was all excited because I'm like, great, insurance will take care of this.
Yeah, how'd
I'll
that
get a
work
whole
out?
new car. They found my car like 9 hours later, and
that's how bad your car was. That it was stolen, then abandoned
immediately.
They're like, we don't even want to chop this up. This sucks. What kind of car was it?
2022 Subaru Crosstrek with 149,000 miles.
Wow, damn, dude. You were fucking up that car.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you fucked up the transmission. Well, how did you fuck up the transmission?
For driving 149,000 miles.
Were you keeping up with like oil changes? Were you
Sometimes I wasn't.
You can't be driving that. Look, man, I'm as a guy.
It just passed inspection.
Now, when you say pass inspection, did it pass inspection or did you know a guy who passed you?
He told me, hey, man, for me, you got to get this seat fixed because the seat is broken in the car. But outside of that, I'm like, all right, so we're good then. He's like, yeah, you're fine.
Nah, dude.
I was not fine.
So you had a trans issue. And then your car got stolen.
And then it was found. And then they found it. They were lucky, or I was lucky enough that they found it with no keys in it. So now they have to make new keys for it. And because it's a push button start, they're like, that's going to take us. It's been weeks at this point.
So what did you drive here?
I had a rental for the funeral I just came from. I've had great luck.
What kind of cool car?
Chevy Malibu, actually, which is the first car I ever drove.
All right.
So it was kind of nice being in a Malibu.
What year is that? 2023, 24?
I'm not a man enough to know how to find out.
Is it a newer one?
It's got a backup camera.
All right, then that's future.
New enough.
That's future car.
It is future car.
That's future car.
It is pretty future.
If it's got a backup camera, that's a future car. If it's got the lane assist thing, that's a future.
It didn't, but it does have a tablet.
Oh, it's got the tablet in front?
Yeah.
That's
so like
super future.
that's usually it's got to be
cars
at
with the
least
fucking
18.
big fucking Tesla fucking thing. That's a super future car.
But it was nice. It was nice driving it around.
That's good. That's good.
I got it for another day.
And then you
take it to work tonight.
Did they know that? Do they know when your car is going to be ready?
Not at all.
So after this is done for the day, then what the fuck are you going to do?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to call the mechanic and be like, "Hey, me again.
Now,
can I have my car?" And they're going to say no.
Did you buy this car? The car that was stolen?
Sort of, I guess. Whatever that is. I have a lease. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not a grown up.
Sort of.
My name's on the note.
So you're leasing.
I'm leasing it.
You're leasing it.
Yeah.
It got stolen. Insurance is gonna cover some of the shit that is happening.
No,
nothing.
So far all they've covered has been my rental, and then everything else, they're like, well, you need the car back, and then we'll like cover any damages that happened. Yeah. But also, why is this car in Philadelphia? You say you live in New York. I'm like,
it was found here.
It was found here.
Yeah, you would have been like, it was stolen.
It's turned into it was kettle of fish.
It was stolen in New York, driven to Philadelphia, abandoned here. And now the fob's fucked up.
And now the fob. Oh, buddy.
I don't really understand the fob fix thing.
They said they're like, we have to take the whole computer out of your center console because the keys are missing. Somebody could show up and start your car. And I'm like, dude, there's no way this is true.
I don't believe.
There's no way this is true.
Then again, I don't really fucking know. Like, that's the thing with the future cars. You could tell me anything's going on with them, and I'd just be like, I guess I have to take your fucking word for it.
And all this shit, the mechanic keeps telling me, he's like, my insurance isn't covering it, but I'll cover it because it happened at my spot. I'm like, I don't need that.
No,
like, just cover the fucking damages.
That's nuts.
I had to pay $200 to get my car back from the cops.
Dude, you're getting what?
Straight up, dude. They're like,
they impounded your car.
No. They didn't impound it. We took it, but the people we use, they're an outside company, so you got to pay their tow fee. But there's no impound fees. I'm like, well, how much is that? And they're like, that's $200 cash only.
Fuck you. What are you talking about?
Fuck off. I hate Philly, dude.
Yeah, dude, you don't ever lose anything here.
Yeah,
don't ever break down here. Don't get towed here. Don't get tickets here. It's crazy. It's an unstoppable.
I've been trying to pay a ticket.
Good luck, dude.
And it's a handwritten one, so my buddy's like, oh, those don't really count. I'm like,
who told you that?
Exactly. Jamie Fitzpatrick told me that. I'm like, there's no way that's true.
The handwritten ones don't count.
But like every number I've put in doesn't go anywhere. Everything on the ticket.
Okay, hold on. It's a parking violation ticket.
This is in Manioc.
In Manioc.
Yeah, this is by where I live.
This is
like,
where if you had said that you had a handwritten one and none of the numbers are adding up, and it was in Center City, I'd be like, yeah, that's a little odd because they do everything.
They do everything digitally. Exactly.
However, in Manioc, I'm like, yo, that's fucking some kind of old timey gay shit. I was like, maybe did you have old timey gay meter maids up there?
He told me he's like, the only time I check is if I get a real ticket. Sure. And then when I put that one in, it'll be like, oh yeah, you have this other one you haven't.
Is there a number? Is there
all the numbers? Yeah.
I would say no. I mean, like, is there like a phone? Call the ticketing office. You're gonna have to do something.
I mean, how much do I? How bad do I want to pay this too close to the curb ticket, my friend?
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Especially with ticketing here,
I was told you get 3.
3 tickets?
You can get 3 tickets that you don't pay before they start yanking your shit.
So here's the thing. Who told you this?
Dan Clark, whose car was stolen by the PPA.
I'm telling you right now. As a guy who's been booted twice.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Here's what happens.
Yeah, give me the lowdown.
You get a ticket. The ticket is initially, and then they change the prices around. It used to be $36.
Sure. Yep.
Now, $36 is within the time frame. Once you miss that time frame, because you're like 36, I'll get to that whenever. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
36 jumps to 72.
Yeah.
And then 72 jumps to 90 something. And then and then it just compounds interest.
Yeah.
And then it gets to a point where now you're so delinquent.
Yeah.
If you get another ticket on top of it, it's adding it all together. Dude, it's not like 3 tickets and you're done. The longer you have outstanding tickets, that's all the money adding up, and they will put a boot on it.
This is Hickin Mania. What are we doing? They don't got boots out there.
No, I'm telling you right. No, they don't. They have the barnacles.
Oh, do you have the barnacles out there?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, no.
The boots, people are getting around the boots.
Sure,
the barnacles is where people are like, we can't do anything. Even though you can't get around the barnacle.
Yeah.
You call
Ace Ventura.
You call Safelite.
Oh, is that right?
You break
Safelite's not great.
You break it.
Yeah.
You break your windshield with the barnacle.
And be like, hey, they fucked up
and then you
my car.
call Safelite. No, you're just like, something's wrong with my windshield. You call Safelite, you get a new windshield.
Have you dealt with Safelite?
No, I've
That's
never.
not how they work. I had my car broken too. This was months ago though. A tree fell down and bashed it. Those ads where they're like, we were at the zoo and no, it didn't happen.
Sure.
I can tell you that didn't happen. You got your shit fixed at the zoo. They refused to come out. I had to go to a place.
Where?
This is Manioc. They're like, no, we won't send a vehicle out. I'm like, why not? They're like,
Cobblestones and hills.
Well,
we're not doing it.
They said it was going to rain yesterday, so we didn't send anybody out. It didn't rain. And then today, we got no operatives. You got to wait for the weekend.
Operatives?
Yeah, dude.
Fuck you.
They're glass people.
Okay.
I had to drive it with a busted window to fucking, I don't know, I think it was
How bad was it broken?
But the whole back window, gone. Just
Jesus
tree branch
Christ.
fell right through my fucking window. And I went to get in my car, and I opened it. I didn't even notice at first. I opened the door, and I'm like, oh, did I leave a window open? Because it felt cold in my car.
You didn't notice the back
And then I looked. I'm like, well, that's where the problem is. The fucking busted out the whole tree. There's a fucking full
Is
ass.
this the same car that got...
Same car.
Dude, you have no luck with this fucking vehicle.
No, man. I really don't.
The Subarus are not for you.
I want to get rid of it.
Those are lesbian cars. You know what it is? It's the future, and you're driving a lesbian car, and they're like, you pass.
Yeah.
You pass as a lesbian.
Sure.
But they don't want you in it.
They don't want me
know.
in it.
When you see them, they're like, what's that ball smell?
What's that ball
What's that
smell?
ball smell in the car?
I got chicken stains
You know
on my
what?
car.
It's because they think you're... you know what your Subaru is? It's a turf Subaru.
Yeah.
Because it was giving you a transition.
It was giving me a transition.
This has been the End Podcast with Ryan Shader.
This guy.
Seth Ruddick, thank you so much for being on
Thanks
the
for having
show.
me, buddy.
We're
So
going to
much
switch
fun.
it over to the Patreon. Make sure you call the hotline 833-443-5300. We'll address any comment, question, concern, or possible alien shooting that you have gone through, or what to do with the goddamn dog who is not letting you have sexual intercourse with your significant other. We're going to switch it over to the Patreon, like I said. Catch us there later.